morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our annual tax season kickoff. We're very excited, very excited. It's really wonderful. First, let me say my name is Sarah Johnson, and I'm the COO and co-founder of the Cash Campaign of Maryland. I'm really thrilled to be here to celebrate National Earned Income Tax Credit Awareness Day. Thank you. I know we're a small but mighty group that care so much about. It'll be a national holiday one day, right? That's our next campaign. But it is really wonderful to be together once again in person after several years of doing this virtually in slippers. I'm really glad to be together again. As a proud alumni of the University of Maryland, I couldn't be happier to host this comeback kickoff here at the University of Maryland Baltimore Community Engagement Center. I want to thank and recognize the team here at the Community Engagement Center, Tyrone Roper and Danielle Harris and their team for their amazing partnership. Cash and the University of Maryland Baltimore have a shared understanding that embedding these services here in community locations like this is vital to promoting equitable access for people who need assistance. This marks our third year of doing tax preparation in this site. We started in the winter of 2021. I think we all remember what was happening then. And believe it or not, our tax team was really excited to get started and actually worked in a tent outside because COVID protocol prohibited us from being in this beautiful space. But they were so dedicated to being able to provide taxes that they met with clients, and they were all very relieved when the COVID protocol changed and they were able to be back in this building. So we remember those days well. For anyone who doesn't know, CASH is a nonprofit organization, and the CASH in our name stands for Creating Assets, Savings, and Hope. We are a statewide coalition, and we have partners doing free tax preparation everywhere, or in 19 counties across the state. Together, we have served over 248,000 households with free tax preparation. This has brought back over $361 million in tax refunds and tax credits and to our economy. Across Baltimore, we served 5,000 families last year. This work resulted in nearly $2.7 million in refunds and tax credits going back to the community and to the families who need the money. But right here in this room, we served over 1,200 families last year. And I'm really proud to say that over 30% of those were neighbors just right around in this area. This work really also helps people save money, because they don't have to pay tax preparers fees. So in Baltimore last year, we saved over $375,000 in fees alone that families didn't have to pay. So at tax time, we take the chance to connect people to other safe financial products. We help people split refunds and get connected through our Bank on Maryland initiative if they need to open a bank account. We also make sure they get referred to financial coaching, financial education, benefit screening, and legal services. And what we love about being here at the Community Engagement Center is they can also take advantage of other service providers that are here in this building. It's like a one-stop shop. It's amazing. So here's the good news. We know it works. The Earned Income Tax Credit and other tax credit put money in the pockets of low and moderate income families, and it's been proven time and time again to lift people out of poverty. Families know what to do with the money when they receive it. They buy food, they pay bills, they pay rent, and maybe they even have a little bit left over to do something fun with their kids. But we have work to do. The IRS data indicates that over 20,000 households in Baltimore City alone are not claiming the Earned Income Tax Credit. This is millions of dollars that's not going back into our communities and not going back to the families who've earned it. So here's my commercial. We hope that you will help us spread the word. Our tax sites are now open. You may qualify for free tax preparation services if you made $60,000 or less last year. Please go to our website, visit bemorefreetaxes.org. To find a tax site near you, you can make an appointment online, or you can find a list of all the documents you need to bring. You can also call 410-234-8008 to make an appointment Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Bruce Jarrell, the president of University of Maryland, Baltimore, to say a few and welcome.
Thank you, Sarah. It's a pleasure to be here. Now, I have a confession to make to you. I'm not going to talk about tax returns. I'm a surgeon. I don't know anything about tax. Okay? But I do want to welcome you here, and I want to give context to something Sarah said, that this is in the community. So you may not believe it, but on Monday, this room had a whole different setup. And on Monday, I've got them written down here. We did career readiness training. We did digital learning training. We had the Police Activities League meeting here for grades 3 through 8 students in the community. There was chess night, and there's fitness many nights. On Tuesday, we prepared for this and started enrolling people in the CASH program in our local community. And we also, our law school provided Just Advice Clinic to citizens of this region so that they could get good legal advice about issues that they have. On Wednesday, we enrolled a number of citizens in administrative assistant courses to learn how to become an admin assistant. We had our health suite appointments open, and we had Workforce Wednesdays, which is where we help people in the community get their CV in order, get job opportunities pursued, and help them get a job. On Thursday, our Cure Scholars meet here, which is students 6th through 12th grade in West Baltimore who we put under our wing to mentor them, hopefully for a career in the health sciences, etc. We also have, we clear out this room, and we have the Academy of Lifelong Learning, where kids through K through 6 come here to get specialized tutoring when they have special needs. The room looks very different when they're in here, I assure you. And for those of you who are maybe a little older, we also teach 3D printing, and we have a maker space so people come in and learn how to do this. I hope that you're getting an impression of UMB and our commitment to the community. In fact, last night we just celebrated the 5th anniversary of our Live Near Your Work program, where we've now got almost 70 UMB families living in West Baltimore. And with the support from the city and from our own funds, we're helping people take up residence in this community, and I'm very proud of that. And today, of course, we're having the CASH campaign. I'm very proud that UMB is a site for this. I hope we can do more things like this. But of course, we're all sitting here, and we know it's not enough. So I want to say to you, as an anchor institution, we're leveraging many of our special resources to make programs like this happen: fiscal, administrative, organizational, space. We partner with the city in many of these programs, and I see the mayor just got here, so thank you for your partnership. We partner with a lot of not-for-profits in Baltimore. We partner with any group that can amplify our efforts. So I want to thank you for joining us today. I want to thank our distinguished crowd for being here. I hope the IRS didn't get my name spelled right. But thank you for being here. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Robin McKinney. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the CASH Campaign of Maryland, the other half of the tag team that runs CASH. And for some of you who may not have realized, Sarah and I are different people. Sometimes people think we're the same person, but we are at the same place at the same time, so you can verify. Or they think we don't know each other, which is funny too. Like, you work at the same place, but you don't know each other. Okay. So thank you so much for everyone to be here today. One quick story I wanted to share is that, the earned income tax credit, 1 in 4 Americans in this country will access the earned income tax credit at some point in their life. My own family has accessed the earned income tax credit as when I was growing up. I know I don't look like I was born in the 70s, but I was, and when it first started, it helped my family out, and so it's been a real honor of my life to make sure that this is a credit that grows, that is sufficient, and that gets to as many people as possible. Sarah and I started as interns at the Casey Foundation when this project was first coming together, and then we were tax volunteers in those very early days. So we always say to volunteers, that look where you could end up. You just never know. And I also wanted to shout out here Danielle Harris, who is our lead contact here at the Community Engagement Center, was an intern of mine from University of Maryland School of Social Work back in the day at East Harbor at our tax site. So, when we say Smaltimore, I think not only do we mean it, but it's just how no matter where people move through in their life, taxes are always going to get you. No, that's not the message. It's that this is a thread, right, that ties through no matter what. If you care about children, if you care about adults, if you care about seniors, if you care about communities, there's going to be some connections to your taxes. Here in Maryland, we are really lucky. In 2020, Maryland created the most generous EITC in the country, ensuring that almost 500,000 taxpayers have a fighting chance for financial freedom and to move out of poverty. This includes over 50,000 taxpayers just right here in Baltimore. We also created a very modest child tax credit that can be enhanced to truly combat child poverty. This bipartisan deal needs to be made permanent and expanded before it expires this session. There will be legislation to do so. Thank you, Gail, for your rigorous applause. There will be legislation to do so, but we need your voices too. So you will see on your seat, and this fancy QR code that I have to say I did myself, somehow figured out how to do it despite being a child of the 70s, that is a way for you to get involved, of how to take action, to raise your voice to say that these are tax credits that make sense for Maryland families. And we look forward to having you join us with that. So what we're asking for is that this credit works for people who are single, that this credit works for people who have children, that immigrant taxpayers are included in this, that we are holding everyone in the state to give them a fighting chance for economic self-sufficiency. We want a child tax credit that can truly address child poverty. Right now it's small, and we have some opportunities to really grow with that over time. So follow us on Twitter, join us at our coalition, and we look forward to working with you to make these changes permanent. Now, while I'm sure people could listen to us wax poetic about tax policy all the time, what does tax policy mean in a person's real life? So we are honored here to have Aaliyah Kingwood, who's here to share her story about how the Earned Income Tax Credit has helped her.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aaliyah Kingwood, and I learned about the cash campaign through my mom. She actually worked for University of Maryland, and she comes here, so she passed it on to me, and I came. I Googled, the name of it, called them, scheduled an appointment. They were able to get me the same week, so I was excited about that. So I came in the exact room, and I actually see a couple people in here who helped me with my taxes. So hey, y'all, thank y'all. So we did my taxes, and I got way more than I expected. I also was able to get a back stimulus, so I didn't expect to get that, so I left here, smiling. So, with that money, I was able to pay some bills. I got a new car. I even invested in my career. Paid for a course, and now your girl got a career, job, Thank you. I work for a law firm in the intellectual property sector, so I'm excited that I was able to, better myself. So unfortunately next year I won't be able to qualify, but it's a good thing, you know what I mean? It's a good thing because your girl was moving up. So I definitely appreciate the cash campaign for all that you do. I'll be sure to pass the word down to everyone in my communities, and so everyone can know. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aaliyah. That is such a testament, and that's right. People do move out of qualifying for our services, but it doesn't mean they don't stop sharing the word, which we really, really appreciate. Before I introduce our next guest, I want to acknowledge our friends from the IRS and from SPEC who are also here. I see all my friends. Mel Hardy, where are you, my dear? Thank you, Mel. Good to see you. Tracy Walker, Leandra, Gaston, Anita Carter, and Lily Williams, our friends from the SPEC office. We really appreciate you. There are IRS people who do a lot to help make our work happen, so we really appreciate it. And without further ado, we have a really distinguished guest with the commissioner, I'm supposed to say the acting commissioner, but I was saying earlier of the IRS that we're so excited that he'll get the job. We're just going to evoke that right after. And I'm reading your biography, seeing you have 36 years of experience already at the IRS. And I'm curious if any of those are doing VITA. We have a slaughter right over here. We could get you set up with a desk and get you through some Lincoln Learn if you want to come help do some taxes. But maybe you'd like to come say a few words first.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. First, your story is incredible, and it reminds me of how important the credit really is. I did do VITA my first 2 years out of university. There was a clinic in Rockville, Maryland, and it was part of a CPA association, and so I participated in that. I have not done it since, so you're making me feel guilty. Yep. Yeah. Thank you. You're supposed to help me. Again, thank you very much for the invite. Very happy to be here today. Happy to be in Baltimore, not just because it's a great city, and not just because it's in Maryland, which is where I grew up. I went to University of Maryland, College Park. But also because of this being like the city where I first had my management job at Fallon Federal Building. It was the first management role I had in the government, which is pretty good. It was, 25 years ago. So, but 36 years, you get to do a lot. Also want to say a huge thank you to everyone involved with the cash campaign. Your great work to help low and moderate income families and partnering with us is a huge effort to help more people understand what they can gain access to in the EITC, the Earned Income Tax Credit, and other credits. Through the pandemic, we had many other credits that were available, and I know that sites like this and 9,000 around the country really help people get what they were entitled to, and we very much appreciate that. Today, we're marking the 17th annual EITC Awareness Day. It's a huge effort for us to get the word out to everyone, to let them know what is available to them so that they can take advantage of it. Noted the earlier comment that there are many millions of families across the country that are eligible that don't know it and do not take advantage of it. So millions miss out. They shouldn't. It's our role to help. We do it with the IRS, the work we do getting the word out, but community organizations like this are much closer to the people and are much better able to help with that. So our message is really simple. For those who are working with wages or have farm income or business income of $59,187 or less, you may be eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit. There are a couple of easy ways to figure out whether or not you're eligible for the credit. We have a tool on irs.gov called the EITC Assistant Tool. I went on to use it. It's really easy. It's a series of drop downs. It's yes, no's. You work through it, and it will let you know whether or not you're eligible. If you are an elder person or somebody with low or moderate income, you may be able to take advantage of the voluntary income tax assistance that's offered here or tax counseling for the elderly. In order to get the EITC, you do need to file a federal tax return and you do need to claim the credit. We won't just push the payment out, unlike what we did for the economic impact payments, so it's really important to file a tax return. And we do hope at some point, like the story that was told to us, you get to a point where you continue to file, you're no longer getting a credit because your income has grown to such a level where you don't need to. Again, we do a couple of sort of filing season reminders for everyone. We do ask that you file your tax return as soon as you have all the information required to file the return. The earlier you get it in, the more quickly we can process it. And please do file electronically. There are ways to do it for free or for low cost. And the site obviously is one of them. And to speed your refund, filing electronically and then having a direct deposit helps a great deal. We've been challenged by paper processing, so we're very happy when folks do file electronically. It certainly helps us all. Again, thank you to the Cash Campaign. Fantastic work. I'm very happy to be here as part of this today. It's a very energetic group, and happy to participate in the kickoff of the EITC Awareness Day. And thank you again for inviting us up here. Take care all. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We're really glad to have you. I know it's right just too close by for you, so it's not a long trip, but it means a lot to have you here with us in leadership. I also want to introduce Ray Conaway, who's the District Outreach Manager representing Congressman Kwesi Mfume's office, and thank him for all of his work he does in D.C. to provide support for this program and for the people of Maryland.
Good morning. Thank you all so very much for allowing me to be here on behalf of our Congressman, Representative Mfume. You know, my sincerest appreciation to the Cash Campaign of Maryland for your hard work, not only during the tax filing season, but all year round, as you all are offering really critical services to individuals who need it the most. You know, taxes can be scary. You know, let's all be honest. I know that I was scared. I'm sorry, Acting Commissioner. I'm sorry, Madam Comptroller. But the acronym of CASH, you know, creating assets, savings, and hope, you know, eases that burden for a lot of folks. You know, our office is deeply, deeply appreciative for the many years of partnership that we have been able to sustain with the Cash Campaign of Maryland. With your help, we have been able to refer constituents to the organization where they receive the one-on-one services that they need and the guidance that will help them create more stories like we heard earlier. This is particularly true for our seniors and our older adults. But not only are you doing this great work on behalf of regular people, these services are also available to organizations and practitioners, which makes this available for everyone to grow and become prosperous earners throughout their lives. So again, on behalf of Congressman Mfume, we thank you for your hard work and we appreciate the invaluable services that you are providing. Thank you all.
It is my fantastic honor to introduce for the first time at a Cash Campaign kickoff our new Comptroller of Maryland, who I have to say I've been really honored to be part of the transition process. I'm co-chairing along with two other folks, the Tax Administration and Customer Engagement Transition Group. Francesca from our tax team is serving on the Public Engagement team. And to sit in a room virtually with smart, energetic people that want the tax experience to be as professional and ethical and to meet the needs of taxpayers is something that we like tax nerds dream of. And it doesn't get to happen a lot. And to hear people that don't do it every day but are so energized at what the opportunity that the Comptroller's Office can bring has been a real honor. So thank you for asking me. And we are so happy to have you in that seat. And so please welcome Madam Comptroller Brooke Learman.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Robin, and thank you so much to you and Francesca for serving. I'm so excited to be here today. I especially want to recognize Robin and Sarah for your incredible leadership and work over the years. We've had the opportunity to work together in different capacities, and now we get to formalize it a little bit more, which is really fun. Thank you so much to the acting commissioner and all the elected officials are here. This is an important day. This is an important day to make sure that people understand that this is a day about making sure that people can seize their economic future and take control of it. And this past Monday, we kicked off tax season. I'm not sure that the Constitution writers, the authors of the Constitution got it right when they had me sworn in only 5 days before tax season kicked off, but here we are. So on Monday, I did the rounds, making sure, talking to pretty much anyone who would listen, and reminding them that filing your tax returns is not scary. And in fact, we are here to help. And the faster you file your tax return, the faster you get your refund. And we have free online services in Maryland, so you can file for free through the state comptroller's office. And when you file online and you request a direct deposit, that's how you get your refund the fastest. So just reminding people that this service exists, that the state comptroller's office wants to help people because this is your money. And the earned income tax credit is such an important part of that. I was so honored to be a part of the General Assembly in 2021 when we did expand the EITC to be the most generous in the nation and became only the third state in the nation to make sure that ITIN holders could also claim the earned income tax credit. So you don't need a Social Security number to claim it. And I'm so glad that Adriana from our office is here, who helps oversee all of our Latino outreach for the Comptroller's Office to make sure that all of our communities around the state who qualify are claiming this important tax credit. So a huge thank you to the Cash Campaign for their work, for their leadership. I received an email this morning. I'm sort of going off script. I received an email this morning from a gentleman who lives here in Baltimore, who I'll just call Mr. D. And Mr. D heard about me being sworn in, had seen me at an event somewhere or read about me, reached out to our office. And he is not able to get a driver's license renewed. He was having trouble with businesses because for years he had been paying the wrong amount in taxes. He had been underpaying, and so he had accumulated quite a bit of tax debt. So he reached out to our office. I immediately sent his email to our taxpayer services team, and I got an email from him this morning in which he said, and I won't read the whole thing, but in which he said, "With tears in my eyes, I want to thank you for being true to your word. Your tax services professionals contacted me today. She was so kind, so polite, and so very professional. I finally have a total picture and know I can get a fresh start with my tax problems. I finally have hope." That's what it's all about. But we want to make sure that people don't get to that point, right? That they are working with the Cash Campaign, with AERP, with VITA services, with the comptroller, with the IRS, to make sure that they never get to that place. But if folks do get to that place, we want you to know that you can reach out to us, right? The Cash Campaign is about creating savings and hope and assets, and we want to help too. So thank you all for being here and making sure that we're spreading the word that if you make $59,187 or less, you may be eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit, and we want you to claim it. Thank you.
People are like, how do you have a marketing problem? I was like, do you know the level of legalese that we have to say in order to get the word out about this? So next, I'm excited to introduce another longtime friend of the Cash Campaign. And anyone that lives or works in the Baltimore area knows that we've really fluid lines between Baltimore City and Baltimore County. And so it is just incredibly important for us that we have a strong program here and we have a strong program also in Baltimore County. And we are excited to not just work on tax preparation, which is critically important, but also on an entrepreneurship academy that's a partnership between the Pratt Library and the Baltimore County Library System. So in the honor of regional cooperativism, if that's a word, I am honored to introduce Baltimore County Executive Johnny O.
If it wasn't a word, Robin, it is now.
All right, done, check.
Good morning, everyone. It is my great honor to join so many distinguished leaders from across this great region, and this is a great region. I am thrilled to say that because when we invest in our most important asset, our people, we can rise. We can make our region rise together, and that's why we're here, to show our solidarity and our support of this critical program. I was honored to start working with Cash Campaign. Actually, it was when I was a legislator, before even the comptroller made it to the General Assembly. And we were working on issues of split refunds so that people could spend some and save some. When we worked on repealing asset limits for assistance to our most vulnerable residents. And I just have to say I'm grateful for the work that we've done together. And I'm excited that in this role we're able to continue that work. I've been lucky enough to have this job and travel all over Baltimore County these past 4+ years. And more than anything, people just want opportunity. They want a chance to lift themselves up and do better for themselves and their families. And a key part of that success is financial security. And financial security starts with a foundation of financial preparedness. That's what this work is all about. It's making sure that we are giving that preparedness, we are giving that security to our families. We are thrilled, and I could not be more grateful for the free tax prep services that the Cash Campaign is providing in Baltimore County at our Randallstown branch of the Baltimore County Public Library, the Apartment Community Center at UMBC in Catonsville, and the Dundalk Renaissance offices in Center Place in Dundalk. Truly, we are excited to partner with you. We are looking forward to lifting up those families by connecting as many people as possible for this incredible credit, and for working with you in the session ahead to ensure that Maryland's leadership continues in this space. So thanks again for the invitation, and it's an honor to join so many great leaders. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See, once somebody ever wants to work with us on anything related to taxes, we never let them go. You're like, we always say cash family for life. So it's, guess what? You're invited to the cookout, and you're definitely all in family now. So next, I'm excited to introduce our mayor. And first, I want to say, you know, that the city of Baltimore has been the longest supporter of this work, always making sure that government had a role in helping to get the word out about the EITC, and then with community action agencies actually doing taxes. But I also wanted to just publicly thank the mayor for choosing us to run the Baltimore Young Family Success Fund, the Guaranteed Income Pilot, which has been a true honor for us to support those 200 families as they're getting unrestricted income over the next 24 months. So with that, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone, and thank you, Robin, and thank you and the Cash Campaign for being willing to step up to help those young families. And I saw the video yesterday, so we can see how lives are being changed through the Young Family Success Fund. To my good friend, the Baltimore County Executive, since it's 11:35, we're expecting you to buy lunch in Baltimore City. Thank you very much. The same goes for you.
Mayor, I know a few good spots now.
You do. You do. Also for you, Mr. Acting Commissioner, thank you, and welcome home. I got my W-2 yesterday, so I'll be filling out my taxes. Let's just get that out the way. And Madam Comptroller, Mr. Council President, Madam Deputy Comptroller, always great to see and be with you all. And if we didn't learn anything today, I think all that needs to be said has been said, but the most important thing is listen to Mama, because it might save you some money. I am happy to be here today to continue to spread the word about such a great partner and a great free service available to our residents in the Cash Campaign to make sure our folks get every single dollar that they can. I know I speak on behalf of the entire city of Baltimore when I say that we are extremely grateful to the Cash Campaign for supporting our residents with the professional tax advice needed to maximize their income during tax prep season. And yes, Madam Comptroller, that absolutely makes no sense that you got sworn in then. This is now my 16th year in city government, in my 16th year working with the Cash Campaign, shepherding and sending so many people to them. Actually, when I first started working in city government, I qualified for it myself, barely, but I did, and helping to see that our residents who work extremely hard for their money keep that money that they deserve because they earned it. And thanks to the Cash Campaign that we can. Like my friend, the county executive, we are going to be supporting the Cash Campaign in Annapolis to make sure that we continue to be a leader in that space. This organization has been tirelessly servicing our residents in Greater Baltimore for 22 years, and we want everyone to benefit them from their services who can, which, of course, if you do not know, are offered at the very low price of free $99. And if he were here, and I have taken up the manner of saying it, our forever Congressman Elijah Cummings would say that we want Lottie, Dottie, and everybody to call that number, which is 410-234-8008, or visit www.bemorefreetax.org to schedule an appointment with the Cash Campaign and take advantage of this opportunity. We know that free is really free when it comes to the Cash Campaign. So please call today, make an appointment, spread the word from generation to generation to generation so that so many more folks are no longer eligible in Baltimore because they have now ascended, like our wonderful guest leader here today. There are locations across the city. So no matter where you live in Cherry Hill or Park Heights, it does not matter. You will find a place to get your free tax services. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to the Cash Campaign.
Next, I'm excited to introduce another long-timer. We should do cards, you know, like how you get like the SNL if you host 5 times, like a robe or something. We gotta, all right, next year, someone remember that. And also inaugural and only 5K Cash Dash racer, which he will never forget. So with that, introducing Baltimore City Council President Nick Mosby.
What Robin and Sarah won't tell you is at that 5K race, it was a cash sponsored 5K race. They were betting against me that I wasn't going to finish. My partner in progress, Mayor Brandon Scott, obviously they would have been supportive knowing that he's a former track high school star. But I'm going to ask folks, when you walked in today, did you see the gentleman in a Statue of Liberty suit throwing the sign up, pushing you into the building? Did we see that across the street? No one saw that. Did we see the flashing lights on top of the building saying, come in here, we can get you more money? Did we see that when we walked in here? We didn't see that. Did we have folks on the street kind of pull us in here, telling us that this was the place to go to kind of relieve our stress as it relates to this time of tax season? Did we see that? No. We did not. This is a place that's a special place. It's special 365 days around the year. But more importantly, this place is extremely special at this time of tax season. When we know our working families deal with a tremendous amount of stress and anxiety of just dealing with coming out of the pandemic, ensuring that their kids are getting to school safely, ensuring that they're able to put food on their tables. But another thing during this time that they have to add to that is the stress of taxes. How much money are they going to get back, or how much money do they owe? If they were able to do things the right way and set them up for this period that they've been kind of pushing in the back of their minds, Madam Comptroller, for the past couple of months. Now is the time, now it's doomsday for me to face this music. And do I go with the person that's pulling me in, saying, hey, no matter what, we can get you this? Do I go with the guy that's wielding that sign, that's flipping it all around in the Statue of Liberty uniform that's telling us to come in? Do I look at my TV or do I hear my radio station telling me to call up this agency? No. That is what we're here for today. That's why we have the commissioner here. That's why we have our comptroller, our county exec, our mayor, because we understand and know the importance of this service. But we also know that there's so many vulnerable individuals in our city and in our region that can take advantage. And if it's through the work of Sarah and Robin, that anxiety doesn't have to be anymore. That they can sit down with a competent professional that's going to be responsive to their needs of helping them fill out their taxes. And more importantly, no matter how the results are, ensuring that they have wraparound services to support their needs going forward. See, this is a game changer. Out of all of us being here today, the most important person and the most important story and the most important words we heard were out of the mouth of Aaliyah. An individual, she said, me. I mean, when she was up here talking, I was like, man, this is a commercial. She talked about the anxiety of going in and filling it out. She talked about the results of it. But more importantly, she talked about how it changed her life. How she was able to take that money through earned income tax credits and pour it back into herself to escape the situations that she was in and put her family, and generations to come in a better trajectory. That is why we're here today. So I know the mayor always steals my lines, but I was going to say the same exact thing, Mr. Mayor. Because I can remember the passion that Congressman Cummings stood every single year when it came time. Brandon, you've probably done 50, 100, 150 press conferences with Congressman Elijah Cummings. But every single time we came to cash, that glow on his face to ensure that he told Lottie, Dottie, and everybody to come out and participate in the cash campaign was real. So thank you to all of us. Individually, we can do great things, but collectively, this is something that we need to use as a germ and spread through our communities to ensure that we get the numbers pre-pandemic back up as it relates to the service that we provide. Thank you so, so much, Sarah and Robin.
Thank you so much. I wonder if we have any trade issues, if we could get a lottie-dottie and everybody. I don't know if we could get the rights, but maybe if it's under the parity rules, already thinking, someone remember that for next year. Lastly, I'm excited to introduce Baltimore City Deputy Comptroller Erica McClamey for her first, if I remember correctly, kickoff. You have it, right? As the speaker. So congratulations. Welcome to the family. Thanks for being here.
All right, yes, as Deputy Controller, this is my first, but I've been in Baltimore for a long time, and hi. I used to work down the street at Bon Secours, And we operated at, when I was there, one of the largest free tax preparation sites. So I'm no stranger to the work of the Cash Campaign, because so many of our participants in Southwest Baltimore were lined up around the corner for hours and spent hours doing tax prep before you could easily submit it by computer, before you could, when you didn't have to wait weeks, when you did have to wait weeks for the refund, when we dealt with a lot of predators in terms of refund anticipation loans, et cetera, because it took weeks to get. And so I know the work of the Cash Campaign and eradicating some of those challenges so that all of the money can go to where it was intended to go. So on behalf of the Controller's Office and Controller Bill Henry, we are excited too about residents, not just across the region, but definitely Baltimore City, and not just the state, but definitely Baltimore City, getting money when they earn the money that comes back to them. We know what it can do. As the Controller's Office, we have the Audits Department. We work through the Board of Estimates to monitor the spending of tax dollars and revenue for the city. But again, Baltimore City doesn't print up our money. And so the health of the city depends on the health of its residents, physical health and economic health. And so the more money that can come back into the pockets of people through various programs, we know how much, we know what it can do to even increase the health and wealth and efficiency of the city. And so when Aaliyah and actually not even now, but all the people that Aaliyah tells and that we tell that are eligible for the program, we know what it can do. It can buy a bus pass for a year. It could buy, people buy cars. They buy down payments on houses. They pay off debt. They can put their child in after-school programs so they can work. It can put them in summer programs so they can work. It can change lives. And so we're excited of a kickoff, that we can continue to have kickoffs, and people continue to have a program that feeds back into families, and the families feed back into communities, and the communities feed back into the city of Baltimore. So again, congratulations to everyone, and let's continue to get the word out.
So as you can see, it takes every level of government, the private sector, and the community to make sure that every single eligible worker in Maryland accesses the EITC, the child tax credit, and free tax preparation. I wanted to take a moment to specifically thank the folks that are funding our work here, which is the West Baltimore Renaissance Foundation, hi, Cara, and M&T Bank as well. If I don't see you, I'm waving at you. Oh, there you are, Sharice, waving, for their work here. And we're also leveraging some funds from the IRS, as well as through our SNAP outreach grant. So thank you so much. We couldn't be in this space without that funding, so thank you so much. And we also know, while we want everyone to call, we also know that people can't always get through right away when they call to make an appointment, when they call the IRS, when they call the Comptroller's Office. Sometimes, it takes a while to work things out. So we look forward to continuing to work all together to address situations that we're seeing, particularly for immigrant taxpayers, for folks who are incarcerated, who are getting stuck in the system. So enormous thanks to our staff and volunteers who make tax season go. If the cash team could just give a little wave. We're like 20 people strong now, plus 20 part-time folks. Thank you so much for your dedication. Thank you so much to University of Maryland, Baltimore, and the folks from the Community Engagement Center, Tyrone and Danielle, and everyone here for hosting us today, as well as throughout the tax season. So now it's your turn. I feel like you have it memorized, so why don't we say it together? To go to the website, this is what I do with my son, be more free taxes.org, right? And call 410-234-8008. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming today.